Internet, hello, how are you? Happy Monday. Welcome back to 10 Minute Mailbag, the series on the YouTube, of course, where you're watching this, where I, kdjTV, answer your questions about MLB The Show. The goal of this series is to start discussions, but the goal of this series is also to kind of pick each other's brains. You guys ask good questions that make me think. Hopefully I answer questions in a way that make you think. It's all about coming together as a collective, as a community, and making this game and making this space better for all of us. For this 10-minute mailbag, I have pinpointed 4 excellent questions. All the questions are often excellent, but these 4 in particular really stood out to me, and I'm excited to dig into them. Before you go, make sure you like this video. That helps more than you can ever imagine in terms of getting this into the YouTube algorithm. Of course, subscribe because we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and leave a comment down below. Leave your question down below. What do you want me to answer next week? To the video! Okay, like I said, we've got 4 questions queued up. I've got the first one on my computer right in front of me, ready to go. So let's begin. 3, 2, 1, start the timer. This question comes from Sean K 2000. Sean, how are you? Thank you for the question. Any tips on getting from mid-600s to 700 rating, and then to Hall of Fame and above? That is such a good question, because the advancement in difficulty in ranked seasons is something a lot of people struggle with. And it's a very fair thing to struggle with, because there's a large jump between All-Star and Hall of Fame, and then just wait from Hall of Fame to Legend is another different beast. So first things first, this is going to sound so base level, but the best thing you can do to improve almost immediately is take pitches. Be patient. I know, it's easier said than done. You see a fat pitch and you want to swing at it, but then it falls off the table and you've hit a ground ball. My plan of attack when I'm going right, because let's be honest, we're not always all going right. We all go through struggles, but when I'm going right, is I am sitting on one pitch in one spot for the entire at-bat until there's 2 strikes, and then we start fighting. That is a lot easier to do after the first, second, maybe even third inning, once you've started to pick up on the tendencies of your opponent. But if your opponent is the type of person who's going to throw a lot of low and away sinkers, that just so happens to be the pitch I like to hit. But if that's the pitch that's being thrown, I'm going to start sitting on it. And I'm not swinging until I have that pitch in that zone. Or at the very least, a pitch in that zone. The next thing you can do, as I just ripped the cord out of my headphones here, but it's okay, I'm not actually listening to anything, so it's not a big deal. The next thing you can do is, where is custom practice? There it is. You go to custom practice. It does not matter what teams we are right now. Let's just load in. It doesn't matter. Okay, cool. Custom practice is something that I think is underutilized by everybody. I don't use it even as much as you should. If it doesn't matter what difficulty you play ranked on, I want you to go ahead, do batting. I want you to pick whichever batter you want, and I want you to pick all pitches in the strike zone. The goal of this is just for timing. You're making sure you are getting strikes. Okay? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is you're going to go to gameplay and you're going to change it to legend. Okay? Your default is going to be legend. Legend offline is kind of equivalent to Hall of Fame online. There are ways to turn up the sliders, of course, to make it better. But by doing this, you are guaranteeing yourself strikes of all varieties, fastball, 12-6, changeup, whatever, in the zone and on legend. This is how we're going to work on our PCI. This is how we're going to work on timing. You could even, if you wanted to, turn sliders all the way off and only have fastballs. This way you're just working on legend timing for fastballs. Or like I said, more like Hall of Fame on online play. But you're only getting fastballs. This is helpful because it's reps. You're just getting reps. You're not worrying about picking up patterns against the CPU. The AI is not good enough to really start wiping you out with patterns. An opponent, a real-life human being, is always going to, for better or worse, get into certain patterns and rhythms and sequences. That's ultimately up to you to pick up on. But as far as just straight up getting better, going from 600 to 700, this is how you can get better at the plate. Now, if pitching is not something you're particularly good at, and that's fine too, the biggest thing I could say is never repeat the same pitch Don't throw the same pitch twice in a row. That doesn't always apply. There are extenuating circumstances, of course, but try not to throw the same pitch twice in a row, and mix quadrants constantly. If you're always living up in the zone, your opponent's going to sit on it. If you're always living down in the zone, if you're always living in, out, corners, like, move the ball around. That's why you should be using pitchers with high control, and you will be better. I promise you, you will be better. So thank you for that question, Sean. I hope that helped. Moving on to the next question. It's from Jonathan Perkinson. What is your opinion on optional collections being part of the new programs? Let's talk about this. I am a fan of the optional collections in the new programs when it's done appropriately and tastefully. For example, other programs, Clemente, right? I'm going to drop this volume down because I know the stupid noise always bothers people. I do this every episode because then I jack the volume back up and I forget. So, in this program, you could collect event cards to progress. In the number retirement program, you could collect choice pack cards to progress. But the problem with this program in particular, the number retirement program, is that you could not finish it unless you collected at least one of these, I think it was. And that's kind of bullshitty, if we're being honest. Everything should be attainable in a program for free. You should not have to get a pack. I know they give you a pack, neither here nor there, because you still had to purchase a card off the marketplace or purchase another pack off the marketplace. But with the way that they've constructed grinding this year, if they're going to give me a fast forward button, I'm totally here for it. Like here, as you guys can see, I collected all these schmucks, and I even collected these 3 schmucks. I did not want to do any of this. I did some of it just kind of naturally, but, like, I did not want to do most of this stuff. I didn't do, 4 moments, maybe? I just didn't want to do it. This program sucked. I just wanted to get it done, block the cards on the binder, and move on. So, shout out to SDS, truthfully, for being a little innovative and thinking of ways to hit the fast forward button. But they really messed it up the first time they did it. Forcing you to at least lock in one of those cards you might not have wanted to. Now it looks to be entirely optional, and I'm a fan. So, Jonathan, thank you for the question. I'm curious what your thought is on the subject. Mr. Extravagant, I'm such a legend. Oh, thank you. Any advice on how to enjoy online play? It's a really good question. I've tried multiple times, but for some reason I just don't seem to enjoy it. Probably a dumb question, but whatever. It's not a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. The first thing I should say, if you're not enjoying something, this is going to sound so silly, don't do it. So if you're not enjoying online play, you don't have to play it. And I know that's not the answer you're looking for. You're looking for something more constructive. But you really don't have to. Save your mental health. Video games are meant to be fun. Video games are not meant to be something that bother you. But if you're looking to make online play fun, maybe don't play ranked for a little while. Ranked can be an incredible sweat fest. And I say that as somebody who's about to queue into a ranked game for this Thursday's How to Pitch With video. If you don't want to play ranked, don't play ranked. Events, they can add a little variety because you're using some different cards. They're 3-inning games. BR, same thing. A lot of variety, a lot of different cards. I know that's a daunting task, but don't think about going 12-0. Just think about BR as a means of playing with a lot of fun different cards and playing against different lineups. Don't think about it as, oh, it's stressful, I have to go 12-0. You don't have to. You could just fuck around and enjoy the mode. That would be my biggest takeaway, or my biggest advice. If ranked is something you would like to enjoy, try messing around with different types of strategies, different types of team builds. For better or worse, captains do exist this year. That gives you the opportunity to play around a little bit. But I think just changing your expectations of what you're getting out of ranked is very important. Don't think about it as I have to win every game. Just think about it as trying out new things, new strategies, new cards, and ultimately that should help. So I hope that question, or I hope that answer rather, was helpful. Thank you for your question. The last question. Fruit is Pineapple. That's a fun name. Do you think if they made a ranked seasons an actual season where records matter or a fight for a playoff spot existed, it would reduce quits? Yes, this comes back to this whole Madden type of concept where we have weekend league. We would not be able to have a true weekend league, but by adding something that people are queuing into because they want to play it, not because they feel like they're forced to grind it out. That's the difference. Ranked right now, there are some people who play it competitively, but there are some people who play it because they have to grind a program. It, to them, in their mind, and this is fine, I'm not saying they're wrong, but to them, it is a grind. It's not optional. Weekend League would be an optional competitive mode for people who'd like to give it a try, who, if you win games, you go to the postseason. You can make it so if you quit out of a game, if you dashboard, you're immediately eliminated from contention. That's a real-life penalty. So I think, yes, if they made a Weekend League type of thing, that would include fighting for playoff spots and World Series and things like that, then maybe we've finally found the way to stop people from quitting so early. Now listen, I play ranked seasons to play 9 innings. If you want to quit against me in the first inning, I'll take the W. It's going to get me my rating points to get me closer to that pack in that program. But it's frustrating when then it throws off your entire pitching rotation and everybody's sleepy and your pitcher can't pitch anymore. So that's a separate conversation, a separate issue that SDS needs to address on their own. But yes, I mean, we've all been clamoring for a Weekend League for years and years. Like, this is not the first time we're hearing this, of course. SDS, I know you're listening. Look at me. Let's give it a shot. All that will do it for 10 Minute Mailbag. Another Monday is in the books for me. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys enjoy the content. Tomorrow, huge The Show, the podcast episode with Mills. Our guy Mills stopped by. We talked about offline play. We created a Frankenstein video game that includes all the best sports modes in one. So it marries them. It's a marriage. I hope you guys enjoy that. Make sure you comment down below your questions. Comment in tomorrow's video. Comment everywhere. Kill the YouTube algorithm with me. All right, I'm out of here. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.